Hey y'all, it's your friend D, and in today's video, we're working on the music store. This will probably be the last video on this store for a while, so let's get started. Guys, I almost forgot. I need your help with a name for the store. Please leave your suggestions in the comments below, and I will let you know which one I pick by October 1st. Thank you so much. I want to add some storage to the music store so when I close everything up, it looks neat. I just don't want to throw everything in and it looks junky through the windows. So I've marked off here 5 inches from the top. I have 20-inch walls. So I'm just going to take this top 5 inches and make a little storage ledge. I'm going to use a piece of foam board. And because this foam board is going to make the front of the store dark, I'm going to add some lights. To hold up the shelf and the lights, I just made some brackets out of foam board. I cut it into a triangle and I'm going to glue this onto the wall. And the hole that I made in it is to hold the lights. I have my lights in place and it worked out pretty well. And it's above the window enough that it's not going to be in my pictures when I'm filming in the store. And I just ran the wire along the side of the window. And the battery pack is down here on the floor. I wanted to make sure I could get to the on and off switch, and I think this is a good space for it. I will eventually cover this with something. And when I'm done filming inside the store, anything that I don't want to be seen through the windows when I close it up, all I have to do is move the desk forward, take my piece of foam board and lay it up here. And the wall of the desk helps to hold this foam board up. Then I can close my floor and swing this wall around. And everything fits nicely in there. I turned off all of the lights in my room so you could see what the music store would look like with the lights on inside. I love this. This is going to look so good when I get the village put together, which will probably be a while, but I love this idea. So I've decided I want some guitars on display in the music store, and I sketched out an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar. And to get my measurements for these, I just searched for pictures on the internet of real guitars that had measurements, and I took those measurements and scaled them down to 1/6 scale using a scale converter. You can just type in scale converter in on Google and it'll give you a bunch of different options. So on this one, you can see I have all these lines drawn, and the picture that I used, I'll put it on the screen. So I took the measurements that it gave for this part of the guitar and this part and so on, and that's how I got my measurements, and then I just sketched everything else out. And I did the same thing on the acoustic guitar. One thing I did, I'm sorry, this is the electric guitar. One thing I did change is the height of the guitars. I think once I converted the measurements from the pictures, it was either 6.5 or 7 inches. And I just thought that would look a bit too long. It might not have, but when I put my doll up to it, I felt like it was too long. So I scaled it down to 5.5 for my acoustic guitar. And I think it was the same for this one. No, this one is about 6 inches long. And after I finished the outline of the guitars and had those the shape that I wanted, I did go in and sketch out some of the other details. So I'm going to cut out the entire guitar and make copies of that. And then once I have enough copies on some other paperboard, I'm going to take this one and cut out all these little parts. As I was cutting out my guitar pieces and tracing them, I decided that I wanted a V-shaped electric guitar also. So I just took this one, traced it so I could just get the dimensions, the correct length on it. And then I just started changing it, drawing in a V shape on it, and I made some changes up here also. I have all of my pieces cut out for the guitar, and there's 5 pieces of paperboard that I'm going to use for the body of each one. And this piece that I drew all of my little extra parts of the guitar on, I'm going to cut these out, and I'll probably need two of each. And I know that an acoustic guitar is wider than an electric guitar, and these are going to be pretty thin, but for the purpose of displaying them in the music store, I'm trying to save some room, so this is going to work out perfect for me. But if you did want to make it a little bit wider, or you didn't want to cut out all of these pieces, you can cut it out using some foam board and sandwich it in between two pieces of the paperboard. And of course, you'll have to cover your edges. So you can do that to make it a little bit more sturdy, or if you want to make your acoustic guitar a little bit wider, I would stack two pieces of the foam board in the middle. I'm just going to speed this part up. I'm just cutting out all of those little details that I sketched out, and I'm going to glue the other 5 pieces of paperboard together, and I'm going to paint all of these pieces separately. So here you can see the main parts of the guitars are done and painted, and the little details are also painted. Now I'm going to take those little details and glue them on. To help give myself a little extra time when putting the pieces in place, I'm using tacky glue instead of hot glue. This just gave me a little more time to move things around if I needed to. And I'm using a toothpick to help apply it. So here I'm just working on the neck of the guitar. I'm drawing on the position markers and the fret lines and just any other detail that I think I need to put on the guitar. And I'm using some hot glue to add the turnkeys on the side. I'm just making little dots. And now I'm going to paint those with my silver paint pen. So here you can see the guitars are almost done. I just need to add some string. I found some gray thread in my sewing kit, and I'm just going to use this. I did start off using the hot glue gun with this, but then I switched to the tacky glue later with the other guitars. So this is pretty much how I made the guitars. Now I'm going to make some display cabinets. For the display cabinet, I'm just going to use some foam board. And I have one piece cut to 11 by 4 inches, two pieces cut to 11 by 1 inch, and two pieces cut to 4 1/4 by 1 inch, and one piece 4 3/4 by 1 inch. I'm going to take the 11 by 4 and the two 11 by 1 pieces and glue those together. Now I'm going to take the two 4 1/4 by 1 pieces, and I'm going to glue those on the end. And lastly, I'm going to take the 4 3/4 by 1 inch piece and glue it on one of the shorter ends. Now that my display cabinet is made, I'm going to make a second one and paint them. Here are the finished displays. I really like the way these came out, and the red really adds to it. I wanted it to match the desk, and I like the guitars. From this angle, you can't tell that they're really thin. To hold the instruments, I used toothpicks. I trimmed them down to the length I needed, stuck holes in the foam board, added a little glue, and decided where I wanted to place them. If I want to close up everything and store the displays, it's pretty simple to do. I just take out the displays, move the sales desk forward, add my foam board piece, and then I can put my displays on top, and I'll just stack them on top of each other. Fold up my floor and close the wall. And this way I keep the storefront looking very neat. So my friends, that's all I have for you today in this video, but please don't forget to leave your name suggestions for the store in the comments below. And if you have any questions about anything in this video, please leave that in the comments and I will try my best to answer your questions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you next time, my friends. Bye-bye.